Hello, sports fans. Welcome to RV'ing with Luck. I'm Ralph Luck. So this video is entitled Where It All Started. At least for my car camping days. And the reason I say that is I started with nothing. Then as I proceeded to camp, I gained more and more things. And this is what I ended up with. That now I keep in my RV in a backpack here, as you can see, obviously. We're going to go through it all. And now as that portion ended of my outdoor life, I am now obviously for about a year and a half in the RV enjoying the outdoor life. So as I mentioned, car camping, that's basically in your car, and what I term as car camping is in your car going somewhere and doing one of two things. And that would be camping in your car or camping right next to your car or within a close proximity. Everything I'm talking about is kind of staying one night for the most part. Set up a campfire, cook out there and whatnot, relax, enjoy the outdoors. Also, there's times where you want to throw in the backpack and go 100 yards, go a quarter mile, go half mile or a mile away from your car, using that one-day backpack, as I call it. That's all as you can see, it's not really a high-tech backpack. It's a cheap backpack, so it's not made for long hikes. And it's good for a night or two of camping, depending on what kind and food you're going to take, and of course you'll need to determine what water you have to take with you as well. So let's go through that backpack and I'll show you a few items here. Some I plan on taking out and using in the RV now that I've thought about it. So going on the outside of the RV, on the outside of the backpack, thank you very much. You'll see I've got a little Swiss Army knife on a carabiner. I've got a roll of 550 cord. Great for assisting stringing up your tent, tarp, or cutting it open and using some of the thin threads inside as kindling for starting a fire. I've also got this handy dandy axe. Again, a lot of these are very inexpensive, and I bought them intentionally because they were inexpensive. They were like my starting point. I had nothing, and then I'm like, hey, I've got an axe. Now I've got an axe in the RV that I had before, and that's a great sturdy axe. But if I'm hiking out a little bit, even 100 yards, quarter mile, that 1 mile, I want something lighter weight. So I got this hatchet axe, 550 cord along here, as you can see, is the handle. I've put a sharpening rock in here, for lack of a better term, because I don't know it. I've got little fire starter here. Makes a spark. There you go. I've got a great little, some of these, like this one, are cheapies from Walmart. They may not last you very long. They may last you 1 year. Just depends. This is meant with this string in here to set up across. It's got some hooks. Then you can put various things along those hooks, obviously. I've got the Walmart cheap $1 light. Still works amazing. Headband light. Got a pair of binoculars. I do have a good Leatherman tool in here. Pliers, knife, you name it. Have another flashlight out here. Still working. And I haven't touched this pack in a year and a half easy. Got a water bottle. Nice thing about this one, aluminum one, with the plastic lid, I don't know why they did that, is, as you could see, maybe you could see, put my name on, first name on it, but this could go right in the fire. You want to make sure it doesn't have any kind of plastic lining or anything that's going to melt into your water. I also have a handy dandy compass. I've got a little USB cord for goodness knows what, probably to charge a couple things in here maybe. And lastly, that I didn't show you, by the Leatherman, I have a wristband that's made out of 550 cord. You know, some of these things, depending on how far you're going to go, you may want to put on the headband, you want to put the Leatherman on your belt, you may want to put the wristband on, so forth. The only thing that's not shown here is my Camelback. And that baby will go on, I'll strap it on here, and has the hose where I could drink while I'm walking, or I fill it with water. And even if I'm camping in my car, I've got that large amount of water right there. So let's take a look inside. I don't have it in here, but this is the case for my Gerber folding. Here, let me just do this. Probably be a better video. Folding shovel. And I'm going to now take that and put that in my back compartment where that folding shovel is, because in the RV I've now been using that. One thing that you don't see attached on here is the sleeping bag, and that's because it's a real light foldable sleeping bag, about like this, weighs like, I don't even know if it weighs a pound. Again, this isn't it, but it's about the same size that I would put on the outside. And that sleeping bag is up above my front passenger and driver seats in the RV as a sleeping bag in that queen size bed. Here's a pretty good inflatable air mattress. Here's two things that I am going to take out today. These things are very inexpensive, take up no room, and what they are is a solar powered. I really like the ones that they make, same brand, that are also USB chargeable. Those are the good ones. So the whole thing is you blow this up, inflate it, and it's got lights inside. So when you set this out on the ground or anywhere around your camp, inside the RV even, push a button, you've got light. And right on the top is a nice little solar panel. Then, yes, these giant lighters in here. Here's a camping kit I'll open later. This has little pots with handles that fold out, little pan, and basically everything you need to cook like a can of soup or something like that over a campfire, over your propane little fire, and it's all right here. I mean, this is like a clown car based on the amount of stuff I have. Now here's one thing that I have that I like, very cheap, again from Walmart. They have a couple of hooks on top. They're great to put inside. I use these. I don't even think that has batteries. Let's try the next one. That button. Oh yeah. I actually use these. You could go dim, you can go red. Taster's Choice. Instant coffee. Life straw. You run out of water, but luckily you're by a stream or something like that that you feel is fairly safe. But if you're in a decent stream or pond, you can put this in, obviously open the top, open the bottom, and suck it out. These things are like $25, $30. I've got tissue on the go. I would say this is going to get you at least a couple of uses, unless you ate at Del Taco. I'm not, sorry, I love Del Taco. Unless you ate at Taco Bell. I do carry something that I'm going to show you. I also have in my RV. This is called Moisturizing Cleanser by Sakura. This is great because it is a antibacterial skin cleanser. Basically, you could spray this on your hot spots, as we call them in the Army: armpits, groin, behind. Spray, get a baby wipe, some of this toilet paper, do some wiping off, and you're done. So I carry a little one of those. Let's see what I have in my Ziploc bag. Oh, it's another hygiene kit. So I've got about a third of a roll of toilet paper. I've got dental floss, got a little bit of toothpaste. I've got some deodorant. The tricky part is getting all this back in. Another, I'm sure, Walmart brand thing that I probably combined things in, or it may have come all together. But I've got 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 plastic knives. I've got 2 red circle cups that pop open. And you've got at least a plate in here, 2 plates in here for your dining pleasure. Here's the one I laughed about, and I have used it, and it's been great, but it does make a great neato. It is neato, isn't it, folks? Mosquito net for obviously your head. Aha. You know how Walmart sells those little squares emergency blankets? Don't get me wrong, I've got them too. They're like $2? They're going to help. But from Soul, boop, I've got this emergency bivvy. I think that it's actually a 2-person bivvy, I remember, because my daughter and I were able to get into it. And you can see, you can never get tents and things back into their original bags, can you? Inexpensive emergency bivvy. Here's something that comes in handy for emergencies and for entertainment. Now, yeah, I know you have your phone or whatnot, but this is a radio with the NOAA, but that gives you weather in your area. Cool thing about this, let's see if it has any power. Apparently not. This thing charges on a little solar panel. It also could be charged via USB. It's got a little headphone dot there to insert the old school headsets. And it's got an old school phone for probably like the iPhone 3 or something, where you would plug that in, you could actually charge your phone off of the power in this. Now it's dead, but it's got the handy dandy hand crank if you want to spend 5 minutes doing this to get a couple minutes, I guess, of radio. Very simple, very basic. This is something that if I was still out and about camping a lot, I would definitely upgrade. I mentioned those cheap emergency blankets. Yes, I bought one. 100 years ago, it was $2.98. Now this from Stealth Angel is my favorite. What's fairly inexpensive, as I learned to speak English today for the first time apparently, is this pillow. Very compact. Blow it up, a couple breaths, boom, you've got a nice pillow when you're out and about. Now, I keep this in here for emergency type purposes, in case I would have a brain fart and forget to bring 1 or 2 MREs, bring a can of food. Apparently I'm also going through that period of time where your voice changes. But it's Mountain House lasagna. Add water, hot water, let sit, yummy good. Well, got a flare, but what this is great for is you could start a fire with this. They're good for in the rain. Here's another one of those dollar things from Walmart, an emergency poncho. This is basically a cheap plastic garbage bag. Can't have enough 550 cord. A good set of lightweight work gloves. This says military grade. That really doesn't, to me, mean much. But it's a fire starter. Other great ways of fire starter are cotton balls dipped in Vaseline. Put some of those in a Ziploc bag. Go to your dryer in your home. Get that dryer lint out. double bag it in a Ziploc bag, you're good. I think that's about it, besides about 10 of these. This is emergency drinking water, which still is good for another year and a half. It's great to have emergency water. Here's that emergency tender. No more goodies. Little mini first aid kit. Mostly for little boo-boos. And I has this great little pocket. So I put a cheap pack of matches in here. Worst case scenario, massive cut on one of your extremities. Gushing out blood. Can't control it with that toilet paper you brought. Why not have a good military cat tourniquet? I've got some Gorilla Tape, because you never know when something's going to rip and you could use it. Let's see what we have in the mystery bag. I mentioned putting toilet paper on that wound, but here's an emergency trauma dressing. Instructions how to use it. Wrap, 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 wrap. Oh, the bleeding stopped. Good. I don't need a tourniquet. I've got this baby. This is another gee-whiz cheap little thing I find. It's got one of those little saws that have the hoops on each end for your thumbs. They work pretty crappy. It's got a mini baby, almost like Leatherman set of pliers that fold up. Nice to have. Got an emergency whistle. Got another striker to start that fire. We've got a compass. If that thing breaks or gets lost, at least I have this as a cheap backup. Dun dun dun. Can opener. Brought that can through the can of chili in here. Nighttime comes. Yes, there's many ways to open a can. Why not throw in a little cheap can opener? Bleed stop. This is basically like a quick clot. Pour that on, covers the wound, burns it up, stops the bleeding. Here's another form of a compress. Again, like that green one I showed you a little bit ago. Here's some water purification tablets by Coleman that treats up to 25 quarts of water. Insect repellent. Oh my gosh. Hand sanitizer. Well, that one's all gone. Dun dun dun. Some hand warmers. This thing is kind of cool, except again, it takes batteries. But yet it's still working. This blows on you. The way it's meant is put it down here while you're walking. If there's no breeze, it's dead dry, especially in the desert. You're walking to get your way out, or you just want to be comfortable. This guy is helpful. A pen, in case you want to write that last message. Another pen. You're out there a mile away or in your car. Deck of cards. Who doesn't like a deck of cards to keep yourself entertained when your phone's not working? More drinking water tablets. A whistle. Orange, in case you drop it, you'll find it again. Oh, I think I hear that search party looking for me. Tweet, tweet. Waterproof matches in a, not necessarily waterproof container, but a good container that's going to keep them from getting broke. Gum. That does it. So there you have it, folks. A lot of stuff that's fairly expensive. Yeah, that Mountain House little meal might be around $10 these days. Some of the quick clot powder to pour on a bleed, especially one that's real severe. You may want to put that on. It may stop 90% of the bleeding, and then one of those compresses can help you. But for the most part, these are inexpensive and very compact. Again, the only thing I didn't show you was my sleeping bag. I showed you the size of it. And oh, and then my single person tent. So I hope that helped you. When you go out, you want stuff to start a fire. You want stuff to take care of major injuries. Starting a fire means you could cook, so you want at least something like these great pots and pans to get your meals ready. The plates and forks and knives are just a little bit of comfort. I hope you took something from this. Oh, the thing I love about this, glad I opened it up. So I've got my little handy dandy pot. Look at how cute that is. Made for a hobbit. And Ninja has to come and block the camera. Really? Really, Ninja? People want to see you, but not blocking the whole camera. Fuel. Big pot. And guess what? This is a cooking stove. Screws right onto the, let me get to the English portion. Well, I'll just call it the Colvin butane propane mix is what it is. This little cute guy comes out, has its own igniter. These go spawned out. You see the little lighter. Oh, actually, this is for the gas. The lighter's right here. Boom. You're now cooking your chili. Very inexpensive. The reason I carry this still is it's got a lot of cool little gadgets. And if for some reason I'm parked here and I'm at a national wildlife refuge, so I can't go to the lake. Ninja, come on. Pets, what could you do with them, huh? Not even good to eat, unless you have to. But if I wanted to go for a hike and say, you know, I'm going to go by that lake and stay for the night, head out and camp, of course, grab my sleeping bag, throw a can of chili in there because I talk so much about chili. I'm wanting to have chili now to eat. But I think just an awesome way to, we'll put that together later. But these are just some essentials that I think are good to have. Redundancy to start a fire, ways to cook, what to cook in, some plates and forks and knives for convenience, hygiene stuff, coffee because most people like coffee, some lighting. Just going over what I think are some key things here. Hope you enjoyed.